what he needs somebody to be right now. That it's not about us, it's about him. It's not just about whether I feel good, it's about making him happy. And if he's happy, then everybody is going to benefit from it. But if I have all of the blessings of this world, but he is not pleased, I have not lived up to my purpose, and my life is in vain. There are far too many denominations, far too many people that call themselves Christians that come to church, and they even submit to the process. They even go through some of the teaching and some of the training, but they never quite get the mentality. They never quite understand what this is all about. It's kind of a, do I have to? Well, do I have to? Is this something that is it really important? Is it necessary? Show me black and white in the Bible. But you have to understand that holiness is love language. It's not going to be black and white. It's going to be a little hint here and a little touch there. And say, you know, if you really want to please God, he would like someone to be modest. If you really want to please God, it's how you carry yourself. It's the kind of spirit that you have. It's the quality of what's going on inside of you. He's looking in your heart, and he's seeing how it projects as you walk through the day. And he's looking for beauty. But the beauty he's looking for is called the beauty of holiness. There has never been a beauty like the beauty that comes out of a life of submission, soaking in the oil of the Spirit of God, being changed into the image of God. Esther was not sitting here saying, do I have to? She kept saying, Higgai, I really don't want this to be temporary. I don't want it to just be one night. I want this to be forever. Higgai, tell me about the king. Tell me about him. What does he look like? Tell me how he carries himself. Tell me, what is he looking for? When I go and see him, should I look him in the eyes? Should I bow my head? Tell me what's going to make him happy. How can I most please him? What should I wear? He says, well, the mistake that some of these other women have is they think that more is more. Really, in this household, less is more. He is not fascinated by jewels and gems because they're everywhere. He's not impressed by gold and silver. He lives in a house of gold. He owns all the silver. That is not what impresses him. It is the person. It is the value of a human being. It is the quality of the life. It is the gleam on the face, not the shimmering of the diamond. This is what he wants. Okay, so simple, elegant. Yes. Okay. Now let me help you. This is the garment. Put this one on. Oh yes. You think it's okay? It's beautiful. It's nice. Really? Okay. You see, the problem with what's happened in Christianity today is that we have far too many people that are inserting their own opinions into the Word instead of letting the Word changing their opinion. It doesn't need to mean that I'm going to try to find a scripture to justify what I want to do. I've got to look at the Word to find out what He wants me to do and how He wants me to live. And I build my relationship with God by how I respond to His Word. Before I ever get in His presence and get favor from Him, I have to first develop this relationship with His Word. His Word is what gives me insight into Him. But the bottom line is, whoever introduced me to grace in the beginning has a lot to do with my attitude towards the Word. Watch this. Mordecai is the person that changed the entire equation for Esther, because his relationship with her is what taught her how she should have a relationship with Higgai, and consequently caused her to know how to have a relationship with the king. It was Mordecai and her special relationship with him that helped her make the transition from being a victim to being someone that was an overcomer and a victor. This is the role of apostolic ministry in the world today. Mordecai men. You ought to thank God every day for men of God, people that God entrusts with the revelation of his word and the understanding of what is happening in these times, that will speak to us the things that we need to hear to make us ready to be the bride. Now listen, when Mordecai met Esther, her face was dirty, tears streaking through the dust. She lived in the slums, had a tattered old dress. She was afraid of people. She kind of jittered. Hands were shaking, and she was constantly worried about noises. And he came and got her and said, "You're going to come and be a part of our family. I knew your father. I knew your mother. They were dear to me. They were family to me. I know you feel so alone in this world, but your life is going to change from this moment on." Her parents named her Hadassah. Everyone say Hadassah. Hadassah means myrtle tree. A myrtle tree only grows about that tall. Not very big when you consider trees. A tree is something that has to grow where it's planted. Trees can't change the place where they grow. A tree can't get up and say, "You know what, this is awful rocky here. I think I'll grow over there," and just get up and, you get up the next morning and say, "I planted that tree here and it's over there. Now what is wrong with that tree?" Yeah, anyone seen my lost tree? He's been wandering around the neighborhood. That doesn't happen. Someone calls you up, "Hey, is this your myrtle tree in my backyard over here growing?" They have to grow where they are planted. They can't help what they are. They're a tree. And basically what the parents built into the mentality of that woman is, this is what you are. You're a captive. You're oppressed. You're broken. You're Hadassah. You're just a myrtle tree. And because of the family and because of the environment and because of the day that you were born, you're never going to grow but this tall. Myrtle trees are more valuable after they have been cut down than they are while they are alive. They use the wood to build furniture. There's a sap, though, that's on the inside of myrtle trees that, if you tap into it, can have a lot of worth. But at first sight, just a few little flowers budding, but no real value, no fruit. They're just thinking about the use that they can be. Once they have grown as tall as they can grow, cut them down. So the life that they have has very little meaning, and all they have to look forward to is when it's over. That's how victims live. Victims live saying, "I don't really have a future. All I have is a past." And that is impressed into their identity. Every time they called her name, Hadassah, 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 ingrained it. Myrtle tree, only going to grow this tall, stuck right where you are. Victim. And then when they died, the pain and the agony of being left alone reinforced the identity. But in the scriptures, her name is only mentioned one time as Hadassah. Because the first thing that Mordecai did is say, if you accept what I'm going to tell you, you must change the way you see yourself. All you know about your family is your recent history. It may go back 4, 5, 6, 8 generations even. But compared to where you started, it means nothing. Because do you know that in your veins is royal blood? Really? Yes, I am from the household of Kish. This was the first royal family in Israel. And you are my cousin. You are related to me. So in my veins and in your veins, before we were ever bound.